second to the back of Gungadin, so it is
He's going to go down the inside into the right-hander. No, he's not. He's going to back out of the move.
It was held quickly, and Milan already under pressure from
big accident!
behind.
That was a big send, and unfortunately he collected.
They go side by side. Around the outside goes Plays.
Oh my god! That Wallace smashes straight. Hidby gets a better line through turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3, and is nearly second out already. He's dumping everything, I assume, on this lap to pull out that one.
Welcome everyone to the FSC Season 7 Awards Ceremony, with special thanks to IP for providing streams and commentary for this amazing season. During these awards we'll be looking at our rankings for the end of the season, as well as an overview of how each team performed from the beginning to the end of Season 7. After that, we'll be having our nominations list displayed on your screens, as well as the final standings for Season 7. Finally, we'll announce the nominations and who got each of them. Without further ado, let's get straight to the point. Welcome to the awards. With these power rankings, we'll go off every team's position in terms of prestige from lowest ranked to highest ranked. For each team, we'll give an overview of their performance during the season, as well as a small description of the drivers before moving on to the answers to the questions we asked the team owners during the season. Starting off with GN7 Mercedes, the team never really managed to start off and complete the setup. However, it still had the basic features that it was required to have in order to appear on the Season 7 grid. Due to the fact the team setup was never completed in the first place, the team had no official drivers or reserves, which led to emergency reserves being placed into the team, such as drivers like Plumby and Danny Boy. While the former remained until the end of the season, the latter decided to continue in the Advanced Series, leaving Pro Series during the second half of the season. We asked the team owner about his expectations coming into Pro Series, considering of the recognition the team had gained in other series before joining FSC, as well as comments on the performance achieved. And these were their answers.
Yeah, as you said, GN7 is very well known, especially in the GSWA series, being the greatest team of all time in GSWA, with 4 Constructors World titles. And yeah, just that legacy is so important for us in GN7, and I think that obviously with time, I think in our first season, maybe first 2 seasons, we'll definitely need to grow. Just get get used to FSC, get used to how everything works with the supplies, with the money, with the traveling, because FSC is a very different league, you know, it's very, very different to G2R. It's not just pick up and play, you know, type of thing. So definitely, I think hopefully soon we can establish ourselves, but definitely not within the first season or two. Yeah, I think GN7 so far has done a brilliant job in scoring a few points in the first couple of races of the season, and I think we are, you know, definitely our aim is to, you know, solidify ourselves within the midfield, and who knows, maybe even lead the midfield pack. Hopefully soon we can just complete everything with the sign-ups, with the setups and everything. But so far, with what we've got, we've done a brilliant job, and hopefully we can just, you know, continue to prosper.
Moving on to BMW, the team also had its debut this season. Unfortunately, kind of disappeared from the second half of the season as none of their drivers showed up, or should I say, the only driver they had. The team has started off quite well, and during the first couple of rounds they managed to achieve a total of 78 points. This goes to show how strong the BMW appearance had been in FSC. However, inactivity from their only driver meant that the team quickly faded away, who was also the owner of the team. Their other driver was part of Advanced Series, and he decided to continue on there instead of trying to bring the team to the top and securing a seat for the following season, despite him being only part of Advanced Series. To this day, we have no idea if BMW will return under a different ownership, only time will tell. In 8th place on the Power Rankings leaderboard we can see IP, and by the name it is to tell that it is the team of the guys who helped us a lot during the season with their amazing streams and commentary. Make sure to check them out on their socials. Anyway, the team certainly didn't have the best of seasons, but considering this was its debut, there's still a lot to discover. Despite the team owner Sambo leaving for studies, we hope that sooner or later we could see them reappear for Season 8, but who knows. In terms of drivers, the team managed to lock in two drivers who served the roles of team owner and team principal. Wallace was in fact the team principal, plus a reserve driver under the name of Weasley. The team seemed to have a rough start at the beginning of the season until they started finding some pace towards the end. We're sure this team could potentially be fighting close to the top with the new season, but it's gonna be a matter of time whether we'll see them again or not in the grid. When Sambo was asked to comment on the issues faced within starting a new team, he admitted the initial setup of the team was indeed not easy, and therefore both drivers did the best they could based on where the car could arrive compared to the other teams. It's time for 7th place, and that'll be Audi. It may sound like a new team, however, Audi is the rebranded version of the mighty Red Bull Racing, considering their fair share of bad luck during the past seasons, which has not clearly stopped in Season 7, although the fact that we were not ready with some systems also helped with teams not finding drivers in time. We will obviously be ready in Season 8 with a few twists to make the league more entertaining, simple and enjoyable both for current and new members, based on feedback we have received previously and will receive in the future. Speaking about Audi anyway, the team seemed to have a better season. True, they did not have an official lineup, but the emergency reserves that have filled those seats definitely brought the team a total of 132 points, which I have to say is not bad compared to some other teams. Team owner Tierna Stealth went straight to the point when questioned whether the rebrand had given the effects everyone in the team was hoping for, with a straight no as the answer, short yet effective. 6th place up next, and this time it's time for Porsche. This is a team which dates back to Season 5, so we can say it has got some history behind it. This season though, the team started from the 2nd position overall in the Constructors from the previous season to a kind of a downfall in the first half, with the departure of James Petty being signed to Apex Racing. This led to team owner and principal Mirror having to find a replacement, firstly in the form of Skiddy, who preferred inactivity, and towards the second half of the season, the team had managed to sign FG Prof. The Italian driver, as he stepped into the team, didn't really think twice about getting himself started and produced good results from the beginning. After all, the results speak for themselves. Despite the struggles, something was saved at the end. Mick Murray was asked how he would plan to bring Porsche back to the top spot after James Petty left them for Apex Racing, and despite admitting the struggles they were facing with one driver, he also didn't deny the fact the team was focused on car development like never before. We're halfway through into P5, Athletic is next. This has been a historic team at FSE, and one not to underestimate. The team in the past had been part of multiple title fights as well as controversies, but it looks like that era faded away from Season 5 onwards as new teams and rivalries made their way into FSE. Especially from Season 6 and in Season 7, where the team inactivity could have potentially led to the closure of the Dutch competitor by the FIA. However, team owner and farm did come back at some point in the second half, only managing to sign Sir with Face, a driver who he had some interesting fights with during past seasons. Now onto the Athletic car. Despite the recent activity, the future and whether we could see a new era of Athletic as well as the Academy AI remain uncertain. This was in fact admitted by the team owner himself earlier in the season, describing Sam's departure in Season 4 as the downfall of the team. However, still hopes at some point they'll be able to find the momentum back, highlighting a potential return to form of a historic team which provided the rivalries and history of FSC during the old times. Well, that said, we're getting closer to the top 3, but firstly, 4th place. Pagani Zonda is a team which also dates back to Season 5, and they're always managed to finish in the top 5. Team owner and driver ST Place did manage to attend most of the season, despite being lonely into the team, which he felt as he admitted it when asked about it, explaining how essentially he was carrying the team being the only one. That lasted only until the second half of the season kicked in though, as Lotus started the first big news with the release of Curtis from the team. Pagani took advantage of this and got the driver into the team to rival Lotus. From there, both drivers worked well and scored quite some points for the Italian team. It's time for the top 3, and in the power rankings leaderboard at least, our 3rd place team is Apex Racing, 2 points below Garuda. The reason for this has to be found in the signing of second driver James Petty by team owner and principal High Caliber, although the team principal now is HBE. The driver did score some decent points for the team, however, some complaints from reigning world champion HBE didn't wait long, as in a few cases he explained how James didn't really score enough points in some occasions. Despite this, he didn't finish that low in the standings, and he still played a big role in ensuring Apex would keep fighting at the top. When asked about rivals in the constructors, High Caliber explained that although Porsche had been the closest competitor in the previous season, James Petty joining turned the tables around as they faced the new rivals of Garuda and Lexus. In second place we have Garuda, and this is something I can personally describe being the team owner myself. Garuda is a team that started with CMD at the helm, even during the Season 4 days. I have always been a driver for the team, and when CMD didn't really have time anymore, he gave me ownership. The team had a secret rebrand during Season 7, being renamed to Scuderia Panthera, although with no mid-season power rankings, it was never shown publicly. The rebrand will happen sooner or later though, but that will depend on a new factor. That is because, as part of me going into an academy to start leaning towards the world of shipping companies and becoming a captain, I will have less and less time, thus meaning out that I will not be owning a team in Season 8 and beyond, at least for the foreseeable future. That is a decision I have realized I had to make to ensure the team would be taken over in time rather than at the last minute, so who knows what's in stake for Garuda in the future. In terms of the season performance, it's been amazing how me and Kirkham-Lakis were able to communicate well with each other and always score nice points and get great results. It's been a fantastic season, not gonna lie. The future still remains unclear, though. After that personal talk, we now move on to the winner of the power rankings. This means that based on a calculation of driver points and position in the standings at the end of Season 7, the team managed to be best overall based on the drivers and car performance. This doesn't necessarily mean they had the best car, but the best performance out of everyone. That is Wilkie Racing, which I have to say has had some big controversies and shocking news over the course of the season. The team was originally known as Lotus at the beginning of the season. Lack of activity from former team owner Dylan meant the team had to be taken over by one of the drivers, that being Milan. Although he made improvements to the team and provided big news regarding the release of Curtis, due to issues with public appearance and his image, he decided to leave FSC as a result of backlash. This had officially set Lotus for sale as he had no more drivers who could take ownership. This led to a bidding war at the beginning between Plumbee and Harry Wilkie to buy the team, although Plumbee retired and after some minutes from the not-so-war anymore, leaving Harry with the team in their hands. The team was then renamed from Lotus to Wilkie Racing and went from a green to a pink color to represent the team. He had a proper rebrand mid-season, but only one driver rising, Harry Wilkie. The others who filled the second seat would in fact be emergency reserves. These moments for the ex-Lotus team resulted in a better chance for Apex Racing to take the constructors and an easier way for HPE to win the drivers, thanks to the disappearing of the warring presence of Milan, who threatened HPE's chances for a title during the season. That's officially then. Every team has scored points this season and has had their fair share of good and bad results. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at some good history of FSC and the teams behind it, and we all can't wait to see what Season 8 will offer, with brand new simple features which will also gain from feedback to ensure the experience is enjoyable for everyone in the league. Now then, shall we move on to the next section of the awards? Coming up are the nominations. You've seen the nominations and the standings. Now it's time to take a look at the candidates who could potentially receive one of the nominations you see on the screen right now. Let's begin. Last place. Perkamlakis, Sambo, Weasley, Wallace, Steve, Hulu, FG Prof, Harry Wilkie, HBE. There are a total of 13 nominations, 9 for the drivers, 3 for the teams, and 1 for the best race of the season. Let's begin with the obvious ones. Our Season 7 Drivers' Champion is HBE with a total of 402 points. Our Season 7 Constructors' Champion is Apex Racing with a total of 535 points. The next nomination to be awarded to one of the 10 teams present on the Season 7 grid is the Best Livery nomination. Let's take a look at how the voting went. It seems like we have a tie between Apex Racing and Porsche for Best Livery. Remember, the team winning this nomination will be represented through a Best Livery role being given to all the team members, including the drivers. We asked the International Paddock boys to break the tie for us. The team with the best livery in Season 7 has been Porsche, with 2 votes received by International Paddock to break the tie. Before moving on to the driver nominations, let's take a look at our best race nomination. International Paddock voted for Singapore as the best race of Season 7. Now, on to the driver related nominations. We have 10 candidates who could potentially get one of the 8 nominations remaining. Let's get started then. Most driver of the days goes to HBE with 3 driver of the day votings. Most pole positions goes to HBE with 7 pole positions. Most fastest laps goes to HBE with 9 fastest laps. Don't go yet, there is still a chance of one of you could receive a nomination, but we still have 2 nominations left statistic related. Most podiums goes to HBE with 11 total podiums in the season. Therefore, most wins goes to HBE with 9 wins in the season, same as the amount of fastest laps. On to the last interactive part of the show. As you can see, we have 3 nominations yet to be announced. For each of those, we'll be taking a look at how the voting went like we did for the best livery one. Most improved driver of Season 7. We have a tie again. International Paddock will be dealing with it. For the time being, let's get down with the remaining 2 nominations firstly. Best Rookie of Season 7. FG Prof wins Best Rookie of Season 7. You can see the graph on your screen now. Finally, Driver and Team of the Season, as International Paddock seems to be waiting on a vote to assign the Most Improved Driver award. Therefore, Best Driver of Season 7. Looks like the clear answer is HPE as our best driver of Season 7. Graph is being shown on your screen now. This means that the drivers still missing a nomination apart from STPlays and Harry have unfortunately not received a nomination this season. Thank you for participating though, and we can't wait to see you in Season 8. Best Team of Season 7. What a grand slam! Everyone voted for Apex Racing as our best team of Season 7. The graph is appearing on your screen now. Oh, and look at that. All votes seem to have been cast for most improved driver, so let's see. To conclude the awards, the most improved driver of Season 7 is Harry Wilkie with 2 votes. STPlays had received 1. That concludes our Season 7 awards ceremony. To recap, you can see who got which nomination on the screen. Thank you honestly to anyone, really anyone, who's helped by participating or simply was behind the scenes in the organization of the season. It really means a lot to me seeing this league grow after I started it from nowhere in 2020, and I cannot wait to show you more amazing features in the future. Have a wonderful summer, and we'll see you all in Season 8. Bye, everyone.